Since 1967, Schmidt Construction, general contractor in Hinckley, has been where to go for all your building projects. Let Gerald Schmidt help you with designing, remodeling, or any new construction. Schmidt Construction specializes in residential home building, agricultural, industrial, and commercial buildings. With expert advice on all of your building projects and ideas. When you hire a contractor to take care of your building needs, you can't do better than Schmidt Construction, general contractor in Hinckley. 320-384-7901.
Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, to today's baseball matchup here in Pine City. We have the Dragons, of course, hosting the Rock Ridge Wolverines. That is a co-op of Virginia and Evelyn Gilbert. So they are here today. It's a 1 o'clock start, and it's a rarity for the regular season to have a 1 o'clock start this early in the day, but we do here this afternoon between the Dragons and the Rock Ridge Wolverines. Again, this is a going to be a fun matchup here between these two. This is a battle of the two top four teams in Section 7 AA. Rock Ridge 14-5, Pine City 14-3, Rock Ridge 6-3 in the section, Pine City 4-1. And already in this game, starting on the mound for the Pine City Dragons is Nick Plajek. They do have one down after John Kendall flew out into foul territory to the first baseman. Plajek gets that one there by Tate Yuhan. Will play out in left field. Kendall will be playing in center field. Plajek with the pitch. That one's swung on and fouled back out of play. See the count here. It is 0-2 for Tate Yuhan, again playing out in left field. John Kendall playing in center field for the Wolverines. With that one just a tad high from Plajek. Man, that was close, but they're going to say it was just a little too high. So Plajek with the pitch. That one's going to be high as well, so that should even the count out at 2-2. For Tate Yuhan for the Rock Ridge Wolverines. In just a moment, I'll get you the lineup for the Dragons and where they're playing in position-wise. Yuhan's able to foul this one off, back out of play again. But again, these two teams ranked 3rd and 4th in Section 7 AA, and next week we begin playoffs, and Pine City should be hosting a home game here next Tuesday. So we should be right here covering that one. Plajek with the pitch. Again fouled off into foul territory. Again, this Rock Ridge, a co-op of a couple of schools up there in northern Minnesota. Evelyn Gilbert and Virginia. Plajek looking for a payoff pitch here. Going to be high. And that will work the count full now for Tate Yuhan after John Kendall flew out to the first baseman in foul territory. So Plajek with the full count pitch. It's swung on and hit towards the shortstop, and he can't grab it cleanly. The shortstop there is going to be Elliot Blotz, and he cannot grab it cleanly. And that took a funny bounce. I don't know if it hit his glove first or took a bounce. I mean, that was a crazy one headed towards Elliot Blotz. But either way, Yuhan is on at first, so one down and one out. Or one on and one out, rather. Now to the plate, a lefty, Dylan Headley. He'll be their pitcher today. We're in number 7 for the Wolverines. Plajek will check on the runner at first, but he's back in plenty of time. Yuhan. And in a game like this, when you got two teams who are in the top of the section like this, everything is going to have to be darn near perfect in this game for both teams. And this is a big game between these two. This could really shake up the standings QRF-wise in the section. Could shift Pine City from a 4 to a 3 seed, but you never know of the seedings at this point. Even though we're so close to playoffs, you never know. As Headley fouls that one off. 1-1 count now for Dylan Headley for the Rock Ridge Wolverines. Nick Plajek gets set. Here's the pitch. in there, swung on and missed by Headley for strike 2. 1-2 count now for Dylan Headley, the left-handed batter. One down and a runner over there on first. Plajic gets set. Runner's taking off for second. He swings. Pops this one up, but it looks like it's going to go back. Foul out of play. Another ball that is fouled back out of play. Tate Yuhan on first, and he battled through a couple of pitches, battled them back out of play, and was able to reach base on a hit that went just past the shortstop Blotz. I mean, that was a tough one to get to. It took a nasty hop on him, and really almost no chance for him to kind of catch up with it. But we'll do it again with a 1-2 count. That one is swung on and hit out to left field. Left fielder is on it in time for out number 2. The left fielder here today is Bryce Erickson. He gets that one for the out number 2. So now Sawyer Holland to the plate. We're number 22 for Rockridge. Rockridge, similar green to the Dragons, but a little bit darker. Wearing green jerseys with the numbers and letters black outlined in white. White pants. And the runner didn't necessarily get that great of a jump, but catcher could not grab the ball cleanly out of his glove as he wanted to get the pickoff attempt. And he almost got it, but the transfer from glove to hand fell. So the runner is at second. That's Yuhan once again. I think if Agard had transferred that one cleanly from glove to hand, he may have had the pickoff, and that would have been out number 3. But instead, we'll do it again. 2 down, runner on second. That one's going to bounce to Agard, and the runner at second going to ease into third as Agard goes back to get the ball and give it in to Nick Plajic. And I got to imagine playing all year long at around that 4 o'clock time in the afternoon, playing at this kind of time, you may not think about it as much, but it might throw you off just a little bit. Not a ton, but just a little bit because you're used to playing later in the afternoon. Oh, that pitch is just high, just above the letters. Going to make it 3-1 for Sawyer Holland. He'll be playing over at first base. This one is swung and hit out to left field. That's going to get down for a base hit. That's going to drive in a run as well for the Wolverines. So Sawyer Holland gets the base hit and an RBI to give the Wolverines a 1-0 lead here in the top of the first. So still 2 down and a runner on first now, and it's Griffin Desan to the plate. First pitch is called ball. 1-0 count to Griffin Dawson. Or to San. One of the two. That one is swung on. He got a piece of it, but fouls it back to the backstop. Makes the count 1-1 now. Again, Nick Plajic for the Dragons getting the start on the mound today. I believe this is their last game before playoffs there next week. This one is swung on and looped out to left field. Left fielder's on it in time for out number 3. So Bryce Erickson under that one in time for the third out. And the Wolverines get 1 hit, and off that hit they do score a run, but the Dragons are able to make sure they don't get any more off the 1 hit as we head to the bottom of the first inning. Again, for defensively for the we'll wait till next inning when they go back on defense. But offensively, your first 3 will be Mason Charles, Bryce Erickson, and Isaiah Haas. Those will be your first 3 here for Pine City. Again, they're wearing their green jerseys with the white slashes on the jerseys and the numbers black outlined in white. Gray pants. Both of these teams similar in record and similar in the standings here as we take a look at the Section 7AA in the QRF standings right now. In this section, though, you've got two of the top teams in the state in this section in ESCO and Duluth Marshall. ESCO 18-0, hasn't lost a game this year, and their runs and runs against average is just ridiculous. They're averaging about 12 runs a game and only giving up just under 2 runs a game. And then right behind them is the number 2 team in the state in Duluth Marshall, who's 14-4. They score about 7 a game and gave up just under 3. So Pine City is QRF-wise ranked 30th, Rockridge is 20th, but looking at it, two very similar teams in record and in scoring, and this one should be a fun one between these two teams today. Again, very similar. As again, this takes away Eveleth Gilbert and Virginia out of this section, and Eveleth Gilbert a few years ago sadly eliminated Pine City in the elimination bracket part. Pine City, they lost a game and fought back through the elimination bracket. They were 1 game away from the championship, but unfortunately, Eveleth Gilbert came back and beat them to get to that game, and Pine City looked like the team to beat in the elimination bracket, and Eveleth Gilbert just was able to get on a little bit of a run there a few years ago, but this game going to be pretty important for both of these teams, as again, I believe it is the last for both of them. So the starting pitchers today for the Rockridge Wolverines is Dylan Headley, and leadoff batter for the Dragons is Mason Charles. Looks for the sign from the third base coach now. Steps into the box. Headley with the windup and the pitch. Mason looks at that one, and it'll be in there for strike number 1 from Dylan Headley. Headley winds up, and here's the pitch. And Charles gets that one, but it goes foul. Got a good piece of that one, did Mason Charles, but just foul, straightening out just a little bit, and he's going to be talking about extra bases for himself. 0-2 count now for Mason Charles. Here's the windup and the pitch from Headley. Charles watches that one go outside for ball 1. It's a 1-2 count. Beautiful day for baseball. Not too hot, not too cold, just perfect. Headley with the pitch. Charles was able to just get a piece of that one and foul it back out of play. He'll keep himself alive with a 1-2 count as the leadoff batter. And according to my weather app, it says it's about 70 degrees. Beautiful day for baseball. See a high of 75. Headley gets the ball back and grips it in his hand just to get a feel of it. And now he'll put his glove back on and get set. Here's the 1-2 delivery. Charles gets a piece of it, and the shortstop knocks it down, but that is not going to be enough as Charles is going to reach. So Mason Charles will reach. Shortstop, he knocked it down. Don't know if it hit him in the glove or in the arm. It was close to both, but either way, Charles is on first as the leadoff batter. Now coming to the plate is the left-handed left fielder, Bryce Erickson. Headley with the pitch. In there, strike 1. 0-1 count to Bryce Erickson. Bryce Erickson made 2 outs, catching balls on the fly out there in left field, and helped the Dragons retire the top of the first inning. Charles is going to be into second safely with the steal. A good throw from the Rockridge catcher, Griffin Desan. But Charles was able to slide under it. Erickson swings and misses on that one for a strike 2. Now has a 1-2 count. Headley checks back at second. Begins his windup, and he'll throw this one to the plate. It's popped up and popped backwards out of play. And he'll get to do it again with a 1-2 count for Bryce Erickson. Bottom of the first inning, Rockridge leads 1-0 after an RBI hit from Sawyer Holland. Headley with the pitch. Ooh, took something off of that one. Bryce Erickson watches it bounce to the catcher. It goes past the catcher near us here. And Charles is going to get to third, so runner in scoring position got even closer now, and Bryce Erickson has a 2-2 count, and a base hit knocks in a run to tie this one up. Low for ball 3. The catcher trying to hold it there, trying to convince the ump, but it is low for ball 3. Full count now for Bryce Erickson. He's done a good job here at the plate, being patient, moving it to a full count. Headley with the pitch. And he gets that one. And the second baseman can't grab it cleanly, and the first baseman can't grab it cleanly. So it's going to be an error, but it's also going to bring home Mason Charles. An error and an RBI for Bryce Erickson. And that will tie it up at 1 apiece. Now, had the second baseman fielded it cleanly, it would have been an out, but he didn't. And even though he didn't field it cleanly, he still got it to first in time, but the first baseman couldn't field it cleanly. So then Erickson was well safe, and Charles had a easy jog home. Now to the plate is Isaiah Haas. Haas watches the first pitch outside for ball 1, and then he gets into this one into deep center field, and that's going to bounce just in front of the fence back there, and it's going to be an RBI double for Isaiah Haas. A big swing of the bat there, and Isaiah Haas shows off the power, and Bryce Erickson shows off the wheels. And now it makes it a 2-1 game in favor of Pine City. What a big swing there from Isaiah Haas. And again, you got to watch out for him because he has got that type of power. It hits about, I'd say, from my angle, it took about 1.5 bounces to the fence. So, what, maybe 10 feet short? A little less. And now to the plate is Nick Plajic. He'll watch that one go by for strike 1. But the Dragons now have a 2-1 lead. Nobody out. Runner on. In scoring position is Isaiah Haas. Pitcher versus pitcher duel here as Plajic will get a swing on that one. Pops it up out to center field. Deep center field. Haas is going to tag. No, he decides against it. Instead, he'll stay at second. So the deep hit out to center field from Plajic is not deep enough. And that will be out number 1. So 1 out and a runner on in scoring position. That brings to the plate number 12, Riley Cummings. Riley Cummings playing out there in center field. Watches that one go by for strike 1. Thought about that one, but that's just a little low for ball 1. 1-2 count now. Gets a swing on this one, and it will roll foul down the third baseline. So Riley Cummings will get set to do it again. 1-2 count now for him. Cummings sets up. Headley with the 1-2 delivery. In there. Strike 3 to Riley Cummings, and he'll go down looking. Strike out. So out number 2, and that brings to the plate Elliot Blotz. Swings and misses on the first one for strike number 1. Pitch from Headley is a little bit high for ball 1. So 1-1 count now to Elliot Blotz. 2 down, a runner on. At second is Isaiah Haas. Pitch from Headley is swung on and hit, and the shortstop is going to grab it on the slide to throw to first. He took his foot off the bag, I think. Oh, they're going to say he's out. I believe he took his foot off the bag. I think his foot was clean off the bag on that one. I think Pine City may have got robbed there. Rock Ridge is going to catch a big break because his foot was off the bag as that ball got to him. So a tough break for Pine City. Blotz should have been safe, but he'll be the third out. So it'll be a ground out to the shortstop for out number 3, but maybe shouldn't have been an out. I don't know. Either way, we'll move on to the top of the second inning. It'll be Rock Ridge's turn again at the plate. They did score 1 run, but only got 1 hit in that first inning. We'll take a quick commercial break. You're listening to Baseball on WCMP.
It's finally mowing season, but you'd rather be doing something else. Thankfully, Minnesota Equipment in Isanti has affordable machines to help you get the job done quicker, any size property. Toro and Aaron's walk-behind mowers. How about John Deere lawn and garden tractors? Or a compact utility tractor? Minnesota Equipment has them in stock. Yard work doesn't have to take all day. Not if you get into Minnesota Equipment. Highway 65 in Isanti. Or visit minnesotaequipment.com.
At Stearns Bank, we're proud to get together to cheer on Dragon Athletics, and we believe that we can always go further when we work together. Whether you're earning your next big win on the field, on the court, or in the arena of life, surround yourself with a team focused on integrity, accountability, and hard work. Put our top-performing team to work for you. Visit our local Pine City branch on Hillside Avenue, call us at 320-629-6713, or explore more online at stearnsbank.com. Go Dragons! Stearns Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Back here on WCMP 106.5 FM AM 1350. The pitch is swung on by Aiden Bird on the first pitch. Hit to the first baseman over there, Aiden Palmer. He picks it up, throws it to Plajek, who steps on first for out number 1. So that'll retire Aiden Bird, the lefty. And now to the plate is Jaden Lang, number 26. Nick Plajek gets set. Here's the windup and the pitch. Took something off of that one. One is the count, so they did call that one a strike. Didn't see the strike call there, so it is a 1-1 delivery now, and that one is popped up into foul territory. That's going to get to the trees and out of play. So Jaden Lang will now deal with a 1-2 count. And Nick Plajek will walk back to the mound and get set. Plajek with the windup and the pitch. That one is swung on, and that will be fouled out of play again. Lucky just to get a piece of that one and foul it off. That was a heater from Nick Plajek. Plajek with the 1-2 delivery. It's to the shortstop Blotz. Blocks it, and throw on to first is in time for out number 2. So it wasn't the cleanest of pickups there from Blotz, but he managed to grab it and keep it in front of him and throw it on to first in time for out number 2. Now to the plate, another lefty. This one's going to be Carter Novak. Rock Ridge. In there for strike 1 from Nick Plajek. A little bit of an off speed there. The 0-1 is swung on and popped up back out of play. So 0-2 count now for Carter Novak. Nick Plajek doing a pretty good job here in this second inning, not even allowing these batters to get close to getting one, except for Lang, who got one. But just as I say that, of course, it's going to be down for a... Nope, and out. Caught by the outfielder. Could not see out there. But it is an out. So 3 up, 3 down go the Rockridge Wolverines, and now the Dragons have a chance to add on to their already 1-point lead. Rockridge got out to a fast start, but Pine City came roaring back there in the top of the first. We moved to the bottom of the second on that Embrace Orthodontics scoreboard. Embrace Orthodontics custom braces or Invisalign with 3 locations in Pine City, Lindstrom, and Cambridge. Of course, Dr. Severs is committed to providing world-class orthodontic care in a friendly and comfortable atmosphere. You can start today at EmbraceMN.com. We'll take a quick commercial break. You're listening to Baseball on 106.5 FM, AM 1350.
A&W Restaurant Pine City is still making fresh root beer. That signature item since 1919. It's still made fresh and on site with real cane sugar and a blend of secret ingredients. It doesn't get any better than this. Their world-renowned A&W root beer is a classic treat, and they can top it off with creamy vanilla soft serve to be known as the famous A&W root beer float. Now that's smooth, tasty, and refreshing. An American iconic A&W root beer float. It never tasted so good. A&W Restaurant Pine City. Come grab your root beer float today.
Back here on 106.5 FM, AM 1350. Of course, streaming live with video on WCMPRadio.com. Aiden Palmer now stepping to the plate to lead off the second inning for Pine City. Dylan Headley, the pitcher for Rockridge, gets set. Here's the windup and the pitch. Swung on and fouled back into the backstop by Palmer. So it's going to be an 0-1 count for him here. Headley with the 0-1 delivery. Palmer thought about it, but held off, and smartly so. Just outside for ball 1. 1-1 count now for Aiden Palmer. Headley with the 1-1 delivery. Palmer gets a piece of that one, fouls it back out of play. So 1-2 now for Palmer. Headley with the pitch. That's going to be high for ball 2. 2-2 count for Aiden Palmer. On deck, Ethan Agard for the Dragons. Headley gets set. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Palmer gets a swing on that one. That's going to be deep to center field, but the center fielder gets under it, grabs it in time for out number 1. Good hit there from Aiden Palmer, but fly out to center for the first out. And that brings to the plate Ethan Agard, the catcher today for Pine City. One down as Agard at the plate. Here's the pitch from Headley. In there for strike 1. Here's the windup and the pitch from Headley. It's going to be high and inside for ball 1. 1-1 count for Agard. Here's the 1-1 delivery. Ooh, in there a little low, but still in there enough for strike 2. 1-2 count for Agard. Headley kind of sped up his delivery on that last one and delivers the 1-2 shot. It's going to be a hit, but just roll in front of the catcher. Throw on to first. He's going to be in time. So Agard got just enough a piece of it to hit it right in front of the catcher. But he gets to it and throws it on to first accurately and in time for out number 2. And now it's Luke Wilson to the plate. Playing at second base today for the Dragons. Here's the windup in the pitch from Headley. That's high for ball 1. Here's the 1-0. In there for strike number 1. He's been getting a lot of those lower strikes in there. He's kind of trying to live down lower in the zone, as he does with that one, and Wilson battles to foul it off, so now a 1-2 count for Wilson. But that's kind of come back to hurt him a couple times. Palmer and Haas both hit ones lower in the zone, and they both hit him deep. He might want to be careful, because if you get those two can probably go yard on you if you leave it down there and they start to notice it, and all of a sudden they're going to get a good swing on one, and all of a sudden we're going to be talking about a home run. 1-2 count. Here's the pitch from Headley. Oh, and Wilson. That's a tough one to lay off, but he does. And that'll draw the count even at 2-2. Here's the 2-2 pitch from Headley. Oh, in there for strike 3, and Wilson will go down looking. And that will bring us to the 3rd inning. So the top of the 3rd, no score here in the 2nd inning. Dragons scored 2 in the 1st. Rockridge scored 1. That's how we have our 2-1 score. We'll move on to the 3rd inning here in Pine City in this Section 7 AA regular season matchup between Pine City and Rockridge. You're listening to baseball here on WCMP.
Did you know that Franzen Bank and Trust is a Minnesota-owned company? And they're one of the largest community banks around. That's a great combination. As a community bank, they're dedicated to their customers and the communities they serve. You might say they're big enough to help, small enough to care. Last March, they provided $20,000 in grants to 6 different Minnesota communities. They also processed well over 1,700 PPP loans, allowing local small businesses to keep their employees on the payroll during the pandemic. Franzen Bank and Trust. Real people, real results. Member FDIC.
Back here on WCMP 106.5 FM and AM 1350, of course, streaming live with video on WCMPradio.com. It's the Dragons who lead 2-1 over the Rockridge Wolverines. The co-op of Rockridge is Evelyn Gilbert and Virginia. Don't forget, we have a golf card on our website for all you golfers out there. It's $100 for 18 holes of golf and a cart. We only have 100 of them we can sell, so there is a limited amount. It's nearly a $200 value you can get for $100, and it's good for at our participating locations. At the Bull Rush Golf Course in Rush City, Stones Throw in Malacca, Springbrook in Mora, and the Pine City Country Club. You can find that and go ahead and buy it on our website at wcmpradio.com/deals. It's a great gift if you have a summer birthday, or maybe you're just a golfer who likes to get out there and enjoy the summer days that we finally seem to be having, or even maybe you're just a person who likes to just go have fun on the course. That is available to you for $100. 2 pitches here to the batter, the right-handed batter, Landon Capella, to lead off the 3rd inning. It's a 2-1 count now. Blazic with the pitch. Swing and a miss from Capella. That'll make it a 2-2 count now. Blazic with the pitch. That one's fouled back. Capella just manages to get a piece of it. He's playing out in right field today for the Rockridge Wolverines. Nick Blazic gets set. Here's the 2-2 delivery. That one swung on and fouled and out of play. That was going to be foul territory and wound up drifting out of play. So we'll get set to do it again with a 2-2 count. Blazic with the windup and the pitch. That one's going to be swung on, popped up again. This is headed out of play just behind the dugout. So we will still do it again at 2-2 the count for Landon Capella. We're at number 16 for Rockridge. Here's the windup and the pitch from Plajek, and got him swinging. Took a little something off of that one, and that'll be his first strikeout of the game. And out number 1 here in the 3rd inning. That'll send us back to the top of the order with John Kendall. In his first at-bat, he flew out in foul territory to the first baseman. And the first pitch is in there for strike 1. Plajek with the 0-1 pitch. It's going to be low and reach the dirt for ball 1. One count for Kendall. Plajek gets set. Here's the windup and the pitch. Swung on and hit right back to Plajek, and he'll just toss it over to the first baseman for out number 2. Those have got to be some of the scariest hits right back at you. But Plajek with a quick reaction, grabs it, threw it on to first for out number 2. And now Tate Yuhan, who reached on an error. Shortstop Elliot Blotz. I mean, you can't really blame him. It just took an insane bounce on him and rolled to the edge of the grass. Otherwise, Yuhan probably would have been out in his first at-bat. But the first pitch to him is in there for strike 1. And that one's going to hit the dirt, bounce, and Yuhan will throw it back to Plajek. Plajek with the pitch. It's just outside for ball 2. 2-1 count now. And here's the pitch. Swung on and missed by Yuhan. It'll be a 2-2 count now. Nick Plajek. Going to go 1-2-3 again as he did in the last inning. Here's the pitch. Ooh, just a tad high. And that will run the count full at 3-2. So it's a 3-2 count. And the pitch in there, swung on and missed. And he will set them down 1-2-3. Struck out Capella. He grabbed the ground ball to him, and Kendall's at bat, and then Yuhan here strikes out. So the Dragons, it'll be their turn again at the plate, and it'll be the top of the order beginning this 3rd inning. It'll lead us off with Mason Charles starting. But again, that golf cart, I didn't really get to really touch on it as much as I thought I could have. But yeah, it's a golf cart. It is nearly a $200 value, and it's yours for $100 with 18 holes of golf and a cart. And it's valid for one 18-hole round of golf and a cart for one person at each of the courses, or for 2 9-hole rounds at Pine City Country Club on the same day. Again, participating golf courses are Bull Rush Golf Course in Rush City, the Stones Throw Golf Course in Malacca, Springbrook Golf Course in Mora, and of course the Pine City Country Club. And this Save Some Green golf cart is brought to you by Bogies on Main in Hinckley, so thanks to them for providing that. Of course, it does not have any cash value. It is not valid for league or tournament play. And, of course, all course rules do apply. It does expire at the end of this golfing season. But, it's again, if you enjoy golfing, or maybe you just enjoy getting out on the course and just leisurely playing like I do sometimes with some of my buddies, it's a great idea. It's a great gift if you just, feel like you're in the giving mood. Or maybe someone you know that loves golf has a summer birthday. This would be a great gift for them. Again, it's valid for one 18-hole round of golf at all the participating courses, plus a cart. We only have a limited amount, so make sure to get yours before they sell out. Mason Charles will lead us off here in the bottom of the third inning for Pine City. Dylan Headley, the pitcher, still on the mound for Rock Ridge. Here's the pitch. Charles will lay off that one for strike one. And a lot of times I even, I remember questioning myself, why would they lay off, when I was younger and didn't know sports as much as I do now. There's a lot to an at-bat, more than just seeing a pitch and swinging on it. Because you want to see the pitch, you want to see where it's going, you want to see what he's giving you, you want to see the pitches he has in his arsenal. As Charles will foul this one off. So deals with an 0-2 count for Charles. Dylan Headley with the windup and the pitch. Oh, Charles. That one apparently got in the dirt, and Charles tried to run around, but it was tagged out. So out number one, as the lefty Bryce Erickson steps up to the plate. He got an RBI single in his first at-bat. That helped them tie the game at 1, and he gets this one, but will pop it up towards center field. Or left field, rather. And that will be caught for out number 2. So 2 up, 2 down here by the Dragons, and now it's Isaiah Haas. He got an RBI double in his first at-bat. And he'll watch this one bounce in the dirt, roll it to the backstop for ball 1. Again, Haas has got some power in his swing. Seen him play summer ball, and very impressive player. That one's in there at the letters for strike 1. 1-1 count now, and that's something I've been impressed with so far here with Dylan Headley. If he has a bad pitch, he comes back with the next one and delivers a pretty good pitch. That one's going to be fouled off by Isaiah Haas. Down the third base line, I don't know if he got out of play. It might have, the way it was bouncing. I mean, and even when he fouls it off, it looks like he's hit it 100 miles an hour. But you can't look past Plojic or any other of these hitters either. Took something off of that one, and Haas pops it up to the second baseman. He grabs it for out number 3. So 3 up, 3 down. Go the Dragons here. It's back-to-back innings where both teams have gone 3 up, 3 down. We'll move on to inning number 4 here in Pine City. This Section 7 AA regular season matchup between the number 3 and number 4 teams in the section. Moving on to the now 4th inning of play. We're set for a 7-inning game between these two teams. Gonna have a little bit of an earlier game during the regular season, a rarity. But we're still here calling it, and it's still a great baseball game nonetheless. So we'll take a quick commercial break here. Word from our fine sponsors. You're listening to Baseball on WCMP.
An air source heat pump is not only a high-efficiency air conditioning unit, it can heat your home or business efficiently during the spring and fall. Plus, it's more economical than heating with natural gas. Have Dale's Heating and Appliance install your air source heat pump. Dale's offers a personalized focus, free consultations, and free estimates. Ask the pros at Dale's how you can receive up to $1,250 in rebates for your air source heat pump system installed in 2023 with 0% financing. Visit Dale'sHeatingandAppliance.com.
Back here on WCMP. Later on, we'll be out at Mora, calling even more playoff softball games for you. We'll have 2 for sure. First one will be Mille Lacs and Hinckley-Finlayson, and then the loser of that game will go on and play in the elimination bracket. Embrace Orthodontics scoreboard shows the Dragons leading 2-1 here in the 4th inning. Embrace Orthodontics, helping you find a smile you'll embrace forever. They also have your customized smile journey, which starts with a free consultation. The team at Embrace Orthodontics wants to make your journey as seamless and convenient as possible with custom braces or Invisalign. You can find out more at embracemn.com. This one is popped up towards the left fielder, Bryce Erickson. He gets under it in time for out number 1. Dylan Headley pops up and out for out number 1. And now to the plate is going to be Sawyer Holland. Plajek gets set. Here's the windup and the pitch. Little something off of that one. Low for ball 1. Here's the pitch from Plajek. Low again. Oh, the last pitch was a strike. So it's 1-1. 1-1 now to Sawyer Holland. And he gets a piece of that one out to left field. Erickson cannot get to it in time. It's going to roll to the fence, and Holland is going to be into second with a stand-up double. So Sawyer Holland reaches on a double, and that will now bring to the plate Griffin Desan. He popped up in his first at-bat. So runner on in scoring position with 1 down. Plajek with the pitch. Ooh. Just a tad high. I thought it was high a little bit, but I thought it caught enough of the zone. 1-0 count, Plajek. That one's in there for strike 1. Plajek gets set. Here's the 1-1 delivery. That one's going to be high for ball 2. Two-one count for Griffin Desan, and here's the pitch from Nick Plajek. Desan will follow this one back into the backstop and evens the count, 2-2. Desan steps back into the batter's box. Plajek checks on the runner at second. Here's the delivery. Swing and a miss, and strikeout there for Nick Plajek. Will be out number 2, and now Aiden Bird comes to the plate. He grounded out in his first at-bat right to Nick Plajek back in the second inning. It was a hard grounder, and Plajek picked it up off of a couple bounces and easily threw it on to first in time for the first out, and now trying to get the third. That one stays high for ball 1. Gets the signal, gets set, and here's the pitch. Stays high once again, and that will give Bird a 2-0 count. And here's the 2-0 delivery. That's in there for strike 1 from Plajek. Two-one delivery from Plajek. We called ball there. That one must have just stayed high. But that's from my angle, too. So 3-1 count now for the batter, and that is a strike. So that will run the count full here for Aiden Bird. Plajek trying to end the top of the 4th. Here's the full count pitch. Swung on and hit right past the shortstop, and the runner is going to get home easily as the center fielder could not pick up the ball cleanly. So it's a single for Aiden Bird. And Sawyer Holland will make his way home. So that will even up the game at 2-2. So 2-2. And this one is swung on and fouled back by Jaden Lang. He also grounded out back in the second inning. So 2 down, runner on first. We're tied at 2 here in the top of the 4th. Plajek will check on the runner at first. He's back safely, but that is about the best pickoff attempt you could have. Perfect location for the ball to be thrown. Palmer grabbed it cleanly, and if he's leaning a little bit more, that's an out. This ball's going to be high for ball 1. Again, Jaden Lang at the plate with 2 down, and that runner over there on first. Plajic throws that one, and it's going to be just low for ball 2. 2-1 count for Jaden Lang. That one called ball again, so 3-1 now. One thing I've noticed here in this inning specifically is Rockridge being a little bit more patient with what they're swinging at. Second and third inning seemed like they were just kind of going up and swinging almost at everything, but here they're being a little bit more patient. So 2 down now, and runners at first and second, and that'll bring up Carter Novak to the plate. He flew out in his first at-bat in the second inning, and that first pitch to him is a strike there for Nick Plajic, and that first pitch strike has got to boost the confidence a lot, especially when 2 down and 2 on. This is a tough situation to be in. Novak pops this one up and back and out of play. But it moves the count 0-2 now, so if you're Nick Plajic, got the batter at 0-2, got a little bit of room to play with, but got to be careful too because base hit might send the runner from second. We'll see. 0-2 pitch. He got a little bit off of that one, and then it's hit right back up the middle. And they're going to send the runner from second. The throw's just not going to be in time. Palmer will cut it off to make sure it doesn't roll too far, but they do send that runner from second. So Bird comes home, and Carter Novak has an RBI single. And now the Wolverines lead 3-2. This one's going to be swung on and hit to the outfield for another base hit. That's going to send another run home. And now it's 4-2. Back-to-back RBI singles here. Landon Capella with the most recent one. And Jaden Lang comes home. It's 4-2. Now in favor of the Wolverines. Back to the top of the order with John Kendall. And all of a sudden, the Wolverines have found their stride. Runners on first and second. Still 2 down, and the pitch is swung on and fouled down the third base line. And Wolverines stealing a little bit of the Dragons' momentum with those 2-out hits. Pine City has been pretty good this year, swinging on the 2 outs and getting some hits and runs on 2 outs, but Wolverines taking a little bit of that here, and this one's going to be popped. Oh, and just get past the infield for a base hit, and everyone is going to stay, so it will not drive in a run. Everyone is going to stay where they're at. Well, move up a base and then stay where they're at, rather. So bases loaded. Tate Yuhan comes to the plate. He reached on an error, and he struck out in his last at-bat, so here we go. And Coach Ted Haas is going to get time call here. He's going to go have a meeting with Nick Plajic, and I'm sure it's just going to be more of a talk to say, hey, you're fine. We've still got 2 outs, and any bag we can get an out on now. All we have to do is, strike out, which, is easier said than done, or just get a ground ball. You've got any bag that you can touch for the out now. You can go home first, second, or third with the bases loaded. So I'm sure this one is just to go out there, make sure he's settled down, get his confidence back up, and then he'll get back out here and get this final out. He has 2 strikeouts here today. 3 strikeouts, excuse me. He has 3 strikeouts, and this pitching rotation does a very good job of getting out of some tough spots. But this is a tough one here, down 4-2. With Tate Yuhan at the plate. Again, he reached on an error and struck out back in the second inning, or third inning, rather. That one is swung on, just gets past the infield, and it will be another RBI single. RBI single will make it 5-2. And right now, the Wolverines are just seeing the ball so well. That'll bring Dylan Headley back to the plate. He flew out in his first at-bat here in the 4th inning. And the first pitch to him is in there for strike 1, so he has flown out twice as Dylan Headley, the pitcher for Rockridge. He'll look to put a ball in play to try and add even more runs on the board for him, but Umet Plajic is going to be making sure that doesn't happen. That one's flying out to right field. Oh, and the center fielder and right fielder collide, and that is going to empty the bases. And the batter gets into third. RBI triple. That empties the bases, makes it 8-2, and we will probably see a pitching change here, unfortunately, for Pine City. They probably wanted to see Plajic go a little bit longer, but here in this 4th inning, the Wolverines have just been on a tear. 7 runs with 2 outs, no less. So Plajic will go 3 2/3 inning and 3 strikeouts on the day. He will give up, let's count them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 hits. And the hits aren't the big thing that really are the problem. It's the fact that 2 outs, and unfortunately the Wolverines have just been seeing the ball really well with 2 outs. I mean, getting some 2-out momentum going. So pitching change, and it will be Bryce Erickson who will come to the mound from left field. He'll wrap up this inning and try and get his team back to the plate so that they can add some runs on and try and cut down that Rockridge lead. So Erickson, the lefty, he'll get a couple more throws in there for the Dragons on his warm-up pitches, and then we will be set to go for the at-bat. And for the Wolverines, it'll be Sawyer Holland, who in his first at-bat hit a double. And a double here would certainly add another run with that runner at third. Ball to Holland. So Erickson will get ready to do it again. Here's the pitch. It's going to be low for ball 2. So 2-0 count now for Sawyer Holland. And the third straight pitch is a ball from Bryce Erickson, and tough spot to be in if you're Erickson, but 3 straight balls, and that one's going to be inside for ball 4. So Holland is going to get a walk down to first. And that'll bring to the plate Griffin Desan. He struck out in his first at-bat here in the 4th inning. The left-handed batter right-handed batter. Fifth straight pitch that is low. So 1-0 count now for Griffin Desan. He was actually their second out of the inning due to that strikeout, and then they've just been on this 7-run tear since then. But now he deals with a 2-0 count from Bryce Erickson, and here's the delivery. Is it 3-0, 2-1? I couldn't really tell. I thought maybe that arm motion to it for a strike, but I don't. That one's in there for a strike for sure. Erickson gets that one across for a strike. And that one's in there for a strike. Strike 2. Full count. Erickson has done a nice job here working back in this one. Trying to get Desan out for out number 3 and end this top of the 4th. Ooh. Took something off, but just stays high. A little bit, apparently. So Desan is on with a walk, and now it's Aiden Bird. He had that RBI single to score the first run to tie it up in this inning. Time was called by somebody, but we're back to action as Aiden Bird, the left-handed batter, steps to the plate. Here's the pitch from Erickson. That pitch is going to get by, so a wild pitch will get by, and it will score a run. Runners will advance. That'll make it 9-2. Now a 1-1 count here to Aiden Bird after the first one almost hit him. So 1-1 count now, and Dragons just hoping to get out of this inning without any more runs coming across. That one's going to be popped up towards right field. Right fielder, under it, and he makes the catch. That was a scary moment for a moment. Yeah, that makes sense. Scary for just a moment, but he pops up out to right field for out number 3. But 8 runs come across the board here for Rockridge. And now they lead 9-2 as we head to the bottom of the 4th inning. Dragons are going to need those bats to really heat up here in the bottom of the 4th, and they've got plenty more time to get back into this one this inning than they got 5th, 6th, and 7th. If they need the 7th, they might not need the bottom of the 7th, but they've got this inning again in the 5th, 6th, and 7th if needed. So there's still plenty of time left for them to do a lot of hitting. They've got plenty of time left. Of course, before that 8-run inning from Rockridge, we had back-to-back innings where both teams went 3 up, 3 down. So it'll be interesting to see if now Pine City can catch some of that momentum that Rockridge had in the top of the 4th. And leading us off here in the bottom of the 4th inning for Pine City is going to be Nick Plajek. And again, it's tough when as a pitcher you are in a situation like that and you give up that many runs, and I'm sure it takes a toll on the confidence a little bit, but got to have a short memory because then you've got to get back to the batter's box and try and get yourself on base or in scoring position or even score. Plenty of room, plenty of field to hit that ball to start a rally. One's in there. Strike 1 from Dylan Headley. 0-1 count now for Nick Plajek, and here's the delivery from Headley. Oh, in there for strike 2. Really late strike call, but it is a strike no less. An 0-2 count now for Nick Plajek. And here's the 0-2. Plajek gets a hit on it, but it's going to roll to the first baseman, and he'll pick it up and step on first for out number 1. And now it's Riley Cummings who steps to the plate. He struck out looking in his first at-bat. Here's the windup and the pitch. Outside for ball 1. One-0. Swung on and missed by Cummings. One count now for Riley Cummings, and Headley with the windup and the pitch. In there for strike 2. 1-2 delivery now from Headley, and coming swings and misses for strike 3 and out number 2. So the Dragons in danger of going 1-2-3 again for a third straight inning as Elliot Blotz steps to the plate. He grounded out in his first at-bat. This one is fouled, but it's caught by the first baseman. So 1, 2, 3, go the Dragons. And we'll move on to the top of the 5th inning. Dragons have some work to do, but they get back onto defense and look to keep the Rock Ridge Wolverines at bay. We'll take a commercial break. You're listening to Baseball on WCMP.
This high school sports season, Wellia Health wants to remind you that they want to help your athletes stay in the game. Sports medicine services are available at every Wellia Health campus. Whether it's the young athlete, the weekend warrior, or the accomplished athlete, injuries can happen. Get back in the game by calling the sports medicine experts at Wellia Health, 320-679-1313. Wellia Health. Live life well.
High-capacity hydraulics, four-wheel drive, hydrostatic transmission, horsepower. You like when somebody speaks your language. Then you better visit the experts at Minnesota Equipment in Isanti. Dozens of tractors, utility vehicles, mowers, and compact utility tractors ready to take home today at a price that won't break the bank. The sale is just the start of the relationship. Minnesota Equipment, Highway 65 in Isanti, or at minnesotaequipment.com.
Top of the 5th inning now, and leading off for the Wolverines is Jaden Lang. He walked in the last inning, and he'll watch the first pitch go low and roll back to the backstop for ball 1. "1-0 is low again from Bryce Erickson. Eight runs came across the board for Rockridge in that last inning, as Erickson fires that one in there for strike 1. And now the 2-1 pitch is swung on and popped up into foul territory off the first base line, and Palmer cannot get to it in time, so falls harmlessly to the grass, and Lang will now work with a 2-2 count. Erickson with the 2-2 delivery. Swung on and got a piece of it somewhere, did Lang, and he'll foul it off. So 2-2 count again is what we'll be working with for Jaden Lang. That one is low, but it's hit to the third baseman. Throw on to first. Bounces, and it's not going to be picked up cleanly. And Lang is on. So runner on first is Jaden Lang, and now Carter Novak. He hit a RBI single in his plate appearance in the previous inning. Here's the delivery. No, throw to first. Runner is back, though, and the ball left the glove of Aiden Palmer anyways, so even if he didn't get back in time, it would have been he would have been safe anyways, just because the ball left the glove of Aiden Palmer. Another pitch here to Novak is a ball, as it was low in the dirt. And Erickson with another delivery. Swung on and missed. He might have got a piece of that one. He did get a piece of it. And here's the pitch from Erickson. Low. Erickson with the pitch. Swung on, and that one is out to right field. Caught. Route number 1. So the right fielder makes the grab. Route number 1, and that brings Landon Capella to the plate. He hit a single in his first at-bat. Last inning, I should say. He swings and fouls that one out of play. Again, 1 down now and a runner on first. That is Jaden Lang. Here's the pitch. Inside. For ball 1, Capella has to get out of the way. Didn't hit him, so he's all right. And Erickson will get the ball back, and with the 1-1 delivery, in there, strike 2. 1-2 count now for Capella, and Erickson gets set. Here's the pitch. Took a little something off of that one, and it will roll. Agar does a good job of blocking it, but then it goes down towards the bench area here on the third base line, and he'll grab it, but the runner at first will stay. So Capella now a 2-2 count. And here's the delivery from Erickson. It's going to be low for ball 3, and it's a full count. Here's the full count pitch. Took something off of that one and got him looking. Capella will go down looking on strikes for out number 2, and now we work back to the top of the batting order with John Kendall coming to the plate. He's had 3 plate appearances. He's 1 for 3 today. Here's the pitch. Swung on and popped up. Gonna reach foul. Got a good swing on that one, did Kendall, but even as towering as it was, it does reach foul. So a 0-1 count, and here's the pitch. In there, strike 2. So Erickson trying to grab this final out here, put his team back to the plate and try and get something going on offense. Here's the pitch. Swung on and fouled. Down the third base line. Oh, 2 count. Erickson gets set. 2 down, runner on first. Erickson with the pitch. Oh, that one stays high. Took something off it. He's got a couple of strikes on that off speed, but that one was not compelling enough for Kendall to swing at, and it stayed high in the zone. That one is just swung on and fouled back. Kendall got just enough of a piece of it. Count still 0-2. Swung on and missed. And Bryce Erickson will grab 2 strikeouts to end the inning. The top of the 5th, rather. So the Dragons will go back to the offensive side of things and try and cut into this Rock Ridge lead. Wolverines lead 9-2. So we head into the bottom of the 5th. Aiden Palmer, who he was close to a home run as well in that his first at-bat in the second inning. Came up just short, but I'd be surprised if he puts another good lick on that ball. So we'll move to the bottom of inning number 5. Dragons trail by 7. Got this inning, 6th inning, and if they need it, bottom of the 7th inning to work with. So plenty of time still for the Dragons. No need to panic here. Just go up there, see the ball well, and get a clean, straight hit on the ball and put it in play and let your base runners do the work. When Pine City does get runners on, they do a good job of advancing them and getting them to cross the plate for runs. They'll need a little bit of a run here themselves to cut into this deficit. Again, it was a 2-out rally there from Rockridge that put them up by 7. With 2 down, they would go on to score 8 runs. We've seen Pine City do similar things like that with 2 outs. But 8 runs, with 2 down, that was very impressive. Aiden Palmer leads us off here in the bottom of the 5th. And that one's going to be hit weakly towards the first base line. Pitcher picks up, throws it on to first in time for the first out. I think it caught Palmer by surprise. He didn't initially run. I think he might have thought that one would go foul, but it did not. He'll be down, out number 1, and Ethan Agard at the plate. Grounded out in his first plate appearance in the 2nd inning. First pitch to him is in there for strike 1. Here's the 0-1 delivery from Headley, and Agard fouls it out of play. And Headley has kind of switched up his delivery. Early on, he was taking his time, a little bit of a longer delivery, but here he's kind of shortened it up a little bit. And Agard will get that one. It's a slow roller in the infield. Throw on to first. Oh, got him. So Agard grounds out. And Luke Wilson will step to the plate. First pitch to him is low. It bounces in the dirt for ball 1. He struck out and looking in his first at-bat. Fouls this one back and out of play. Here's the windup and the pitch from Headley, and this one's hit down to first, and that's going to be foul, yep. That one's straightened out a little bit. That probably leaves the infield right back up the middle, and maybe not extra bases, but sure a base hit. So Headley with the windup. Oh, wow. Quite a different delivery on that one. That one looked a little bit funky from Headley. Again, he's switched it up. Which, I mean, good for you, but that one looked like he may have not meant to do that. Didn't look super intentional, but either way, Wilson will get a hit onto the ground to the first baseman, and he picks it up, steps onto the bag in time for out number 3. So it's been 4 straight innings now for the Dragons where they've gone 1, 2, 3, and they'll need to get something going here in the 6th inning if they want to have a chance to get back into this one. It's always tough when you're down by this much going into the final inning because then it adds more pressure, and you're going to be thinking a little bit more about it. But 6th inning still available for them to do some work, and then we'll have that 7th inning as well if they need it. Again, 6th inning could prove to be enough for the Dragons. We could see them score 8 runs like the Wolverines did in the bottom of the 6th. Who knows? But we will be moving on to the 6th inning here at Pine City. Dragons trail 8-2 on that Embrace Orthodontic, 9-2, on that Embrace Orthodontic scoreboard. They'll do all the insurance heavy lifting for you, and if you don't have insurance, ask about financing options. They'll find a plan to fit your budget at EmbraceMN.com. EmbraceMN. They have 3 locations: Pine City, Lindstrom, and Cambridge. Top of the 6th inning, we will still see Bryce Erickson out there. He will be back out here for this 6th inning. It's this and the 7th inning left, unless Pine City ties it at the bottom of the 7th and isn't able to score anymore. Then we'll have extra innings. But Pine City's got their work cut out for them. A big inning there from the Wolverines back in the 4th. Saw them put 8 runs across the plate with 2 outs, no less. It looked good for Pine City. They got a fly out to begin the 4th inning from Dylan Headley, and then Holland, he got a base hit, a double, but then came back and struck out Desan, and that's where the dominoes fell, so to speak. As from there on, they would go to score 8 runs. And now leading off the 6th inning is Tate Yuhan for Rock Ridge, if I can remember their name. That one's going to be low for ball 1, and Erickson, since he's coming to pitches, the balls he's throwing it just reached the plate a little bit low, and I'm no expert, so I don't know how to correct it, so I'm not even going to try. But just got to, those are good pitches if you can just bring them up just a tad. Those would be really good placed pitches. But that next one is in there for strike 1, and then this one's in the dirt for ball 2. Two-one count for Tate Yuhan, and Erickson gets set. Here's the windup and the pitch. Took something off of that one, but it's going to be fouled off towards the Rock Ridge dugout. I like the hustle there from Aiden Palmer. That was going to be a stretch to reach it, but he almost got there. I like the hustle. I like the effort to go and try and get after that one. Ooh, that one's in there for strike 3 looking from Tate Yuhan. Clipped just enough of that plate. And now Dylan Headley will come to the plate, the pitcher for the Rock Ridge Wolverines. Swings and misses on that one, and he is 1 for 3 today with an RBI triple. On 1 count. And Erickson with the delivery. That one swung on and hit towards the outfield. Grabbed for the out. Again, I don't have the best of looks, so I can't really see down that way. I can see almost everywhere else, just that one is the tough one, but it is an out. And now Sawyer Holland gets back to the plate. He's had a pretty good day so far. He's 2 for 2 with a walk here today. He has an RBI back in the 1st. That gave them a 1-0 lead. And, yeah, he's, as I mentioned before, been pretty good today. He also scored a run himself. And, ooh. Nice frame by Agar, but actually, I think it might be Blotz out there at catcher now, so good framing it, but is high. And it's going to be a 4-pitch walk for Sawyer Holland. Maybe not the worst thing in the world to walk him because he has been really good today. He'll stay 2-2 with 2 walks. But that brings up Griffin Desan to the plate, who is 0 for 2 today with a walk as well. He struck out and flew out in his at-bats today. And here's the first pitch to him. Erickson takes just a little something off that one, but it's low for ball 1. Griffin Desson again 0 for 2. He's got Sawyer Holland out there on first. That one's in there for strike one from Bryce Erickson. Erickson checks the runner at first, delivers the pitch, and it's low for ball 2. Lotz couldn't locate the ball right away. He took off the mask and scrambled to find it. Luckily, the runner at first stayed. So Erickson, the left-handed pitcher, gets set. And here's the delivery. That one swung on and hit out to left field. And it is grabbed for the final out of the inning. So no hits and no runs come across for the Wolverines, and the Dragons will be up next in the bottom of the 6th inning, trying to get something going. We'll move back to the top of the order here for Pine City. Maybe that will spark something for them. We'll take a quick commercial break. You're listening to Baseball on WCMP.
Are you interested in a technical degree that can quickly help you land your dream career? Or maybe you've always dreamed of going to a 4-year college, but you'd like to start close to home. Either way, Pine Technical and Community College has you covered. PTCC offers more than 50 degrees in hot fields like healthcare information technology, advanced manufacturing, and business. PTCC is now accepting applications. Financial aid may be available. Online at pine.edu. Starting out or starting over, find your future at Pine Technical and Community College.
When you need an AC or furnace tune-up, Dale's Heating and Appliance is always clutch. Need financing on a new AC or furnace system? Dale's Heating and Appliance in Pine City is your closer. Dale'sHeatingandAppliance.com.
Avoid costly repairs on your AC or heating system by getting a tune-up from Dale's Heating and Appliance. Dale's is your hometown cooling and heating expert, servicing Pine City and surrounding areas. Visit Dale'sHeatingandAppliance.com today. Dale'sHeatingandAppliance.com.
Back here on WCMP 106.5 FM, AM 1350. Bottom of the 6th inning, Dragons trail 9-2. Dylan Headley still out there on the mound. Head coach Ted Haas giving a word of advice to Mason Charles as he heads to the plate to lead off the bottom of the 6th inning. Dragons need a lot going here in this inning to make it easier in the 7th for them to either come back and or win it. If they were to score 8 themselves here in this inning, you would hope that'd be enough to win it. So the first pitch is in there for strike one. Headley will speed up that wind up, and it's a called ball. So 1-1 count for Mason Charles. And Headley has switched up his deliveries every once in a while, and he had one last inning where I don't know if it was intentional, but it looked really funky. But it was a super quick delivery, but again, just looked a little awkward, just a little bit. So 1-2 count now for Mason Charles. Pitch is going to be high and inside for ball 2. Count is even at 2-2 for Mason Charles. Headley with the windup and the pitch. Charles swings through it for out number 1. Again, the Dragons have had 4 straight innings without a runner reaching base. And it's also 4 straight innings of 1, 2, 3 innings for them at the plate. So they need something going their way. Bryce Erickson to the plate. They need to, as the first pitch to Erickson is outside for ball 1. They really need to get something going here in this inning. Just even longer at bat to get Headley second guessing some of his things. They need something. That one's in there for strike 1. So Erickson will have a 1-1 count now. And Dylan Headley again Get set. Here's the windup and the pitch. There we go. Erickson gets that one, and that one's down for a base hit. So first base hit since inning number 1 for the Dragons, and that's a big one, as it is going to be a stand-up double for Bryce Erickson, and that is just what the Dragons needed here in the bottom of the 6th inning. One down, runner on in scoring position, and now you bring to the plate Isaiah Haas. He's 1 for 2 today. Got an RBI double, but also flew out in his last at-bat. He swings and fouls this one back out of play. So Bryce Erickson gets things going here for the Dragons, and that is just what they needed. Headley keeps an eye on the runner at second. Here's the pitch. Low for ball 1. One count to Isaiah Haas. And Headley will take a little bit more time now between the pitches, as he's got a runner on second and dealing with one of the power hitters in Isaiah Haas. That one's in there for strike 2 to Haas. So it's now a 1-2 count with 1 down here in the bottom of the 6th. Runner on second. It's Bryce Erickson. And here's the pitch from Headley. And Haas fouls that one back out of play. So Haas will step to the plate to do it again with a 1-2 count. Headley readies. And here's the pitch. Outside, ball 2. So 2-2 here for Isaiah Haas, as Erickson over there on second, and Headley is keeping a real close eye on Erickson at second. Headley with the pitch. It's going to be low for ball 3. So full count here for Isaiah Haas. Got a runner out there on second. And 1 down. Again, Headley will keep an eye on that runner at second. Here's the pitch. And that will be a base hit for Isaiah Haas down the third base line. It won't bring the run home, though. The Wolverines do a good job of getting that ball in quickly. But it is another base hit, so back-to-back base hits here for the Pine City Dragons. And now it's Nick Plajek coming to the plate. He's 0 for 2 today, but what a time it is for him to get his first hit of the day. Runner on third. And for a run on the corners, 1 down and trying to cut into this Wolverine lead. Now Headley's going to have to keep an eye on Haas over at first. Here's the pitch. I think that was low for ball 1. Headley will keep a real close eye on Haas over there at first. Here's the pitch. Outside, ball 2. 2-0 count now for Nick Plajek. Runners on the corners, 1 down. Pitch to Plajek is in there for strike 1, low at the knees, but manages to get just enough of that zone. Two-one delivery. Just outside. Ball 3. 3-1 now for Nick Plajek. He's got runners on the corners and 1 down. Here's the pitch. In there, strike 2. So full count now for Nick Plajek. Headley checks on Haas over at first. And here's the pitch. Swing and a miss from Plajic, but Haas will move up to second. So a strikeout for out number 2, and Riley Cummings heads to the plate. Chance for a base hit here to score a couple of runs. Swings and misses on that one. He's also 0 for 2 today with 2 strikeouts. They got the bats going here with Erickson and Haas, but base hit will send them both home. And Cummings swings through that one. It pops out of the catcher's glove. And Headley's ahead now 0-2, and the Dragons in danger of stranding runners in scoring position. They need a little bit of that 2-out magic here they've had this season. Here's the pitch from Headley. Cummings gets just enough of it to foul it back. Headley gets ready. Cummings is set as well. 0-2 delivery. And good eye from Cummings as that one is ball 1. Tough to lay off, especially 0-2 when you're down. But so important to be patient as well. You don't just want to be swinging at everything. So 1-2 count now for Cummings. Here's the pitch from Headley. Low for ball 2. That'll even the count at 2-2 now for Riley Cummings. And again, a base hit scores for sure 1, if not 2. Haas does a pretty good job running those bases. And don't count Cummings out for an extra base hit either. He's a pretty good runner himself, but he swings through that one for out number 3. So the Dragons get 2 hits, a double and a single, but are unable to advance the runners home. They will strand the runners in scoring position, and we move on to what could be the 7th and final inning here in Pine City. The Dragons trail 9-2 to the Rock Ridge Wolverines. And it looked more or less like we were going to be in for somewhat of a pitcher's duel almost, as we had back-to-back innings in the 2nd and 3rd, where both teams went 3 up, 3 down, but then in the 4th it really opened the floodgates for Rock Ridge. With 2 down, they got 8 runs to come across. And now lead 9-2 after Pine City took a 2-1 lead back in the 1st after Rockridge scored the opening run, and then Pine City shut it down, and they came out and scored 2 runs themselves in the 1st. So it looked like, again, we were in for somewhat of a pitcher's duel, but Rockridge was really able to turn it on with 2 outs. And we will switch the pitchers. Coming in for the 7th inning, it will be Mason Charles. So Bryce Erickson works from the 4th inning into the 6th. 2 1/3 innings for him. And he did grab 2 1/3 inning. He did grab, looks like 3 strikeouts. Not a bad outing there for Erickson. Not a bad outing at all. He did allow a couple of hits as well. But again, 9-2 is the Rockridge lead, as Mason Charles will warm up here for Pine City, which gives me enough time to tell you about our green card, goodness. Save Some Green golf card on our website. It's the Save Some Green golf card on WCMPRadio.com/deals. It is a nearly $200 value worth for yours for $100. It's good for one 18-hole round of golf with a cart for one person at each of our participating courses, or valid for 2 9-hole rounds at Pine City Country Club on the same day. Of course, Pine City Country Club, one of the participating courses. The other ones are Bull Rush Golf Course in Rush City, the Stones Throw Golf Course in Malacca, and the Spring Brook Golf Course in Mora. It's not valid for league or tournament play, And, of course, rules apply. Of course, it does expire at the end of the season. And we only have a limited amount, so make sure to get yours today, as we do only have a limited amount of these things on our website. Once they're gone, they are gone. Make sure to get yours today. Again, nearly $200 value. Yours just for $100. And that is brought to you by Bogies on Main in Hinckley. Thanks to them. So leading off the seventh inning, if I can find any bit of speech to use. Seventh inning is Aiden Bird, left-handed batter. Mason Charles with the pitch. In there for strike one. And he's got that sidearm action, almost submarine type pitcher in Mason Charles. And sometimes I have a hard enough time throwing it regular. I can't imagine pitching like this, as that one's going to head over the catcher's head for ball two. A 7-run lead here for Rockridge in this game over Pine City. That one's outside for ball three. That one's just outside for ball four, so Aiden Bird will take his free base after a walk. And now stepping to the plate is Jaden Lang. He's 0 for 3 today, or excuse me, 0 for 2 with a walk. That first pitch is low for ball one. So nobody out and a runner on first for the Wolverines. That one is swung on and popped up. Pop up to the shortstop, and he gets to it. Time for out number one. It's Nick Pelagic there at shortstop, grabbing the out. So one down now for Pine City. And it's Carter Novak at the plate now. He's 1 for 3 today. Another left-handed batter. That's one thing. Rockridge has about 3 or 4 left-handed batters. And the throw down to second, not in time. It was a pretty good throw from Elliot Blotz. Blotz did a good job of getting out of his stance and getting up, and that throw down to second was just late. That's a pretty good get up there from Blotz. So the runner advances to second now to open up the first base for Carter Novak possibly, but Charles with the pitch. That one's tipped foul by Novak. Novak gets set. Charles also readies. Checks the runner at second. And the pitch. And Novak swung on that one, got a piece of it, and fouls it back. That one was, I think he's questioning why he even swung at that one. That one was well outside, but he still swung on it. And now if you're Mason Charles, you're in his head a little bit. So now you've got a few pitches to work with here. Try and get him swinging again. You bring the heater and just run it by him, or you could try and get him to reach again or go inside and get him looking. There's plenty of ways you could go about this. Ooh, just high on that one. It's going to be 2-2. One down, runner on second for Rockridge. Carter Novak at the plate has a 2-2 count. Charles gets ready. And here's the pitch. Just outside. That'll run the count full. 3-2. And he gets a piece of this one. Charles picks it up. Underhands it to first in time for out number 2. So 2 down now, runner on second, and he made his way to third. So he's, I think it's 60 feet away. I don't know, I'm bad with math. I'm not even going to go there. Landon Capella to the plate now for the Wolverines. Charles with the windup and the pitch. That one's going to be high. And the runner will, he was close to not even touching the plate. His heel might have touched, but that was, I think, a little bit closer than you want. So the wild pitch will score the runner, make it 10-2. But again, I think he was a little too leisure coming home because he did not get a clean foot on that plate. I mean, he touched it nonetheless, but that was close. And I mean, that would be a huge mistake had he not touched it. But it's an 0-2 now to Landon Capella. Now it's 3-0 to Capella. And head coach Ted Haas will call time. And they'll go to the mound and have a little visit with Charles just to kind of settle him down a little bit. Again, give him his confidence and just tell him, hey, got nothing to lose. You got 2 outs here. So again, later on here on 106.5, in about an hour and a half, we'll have more games here. It'll be Hinckley, Finlayson, and Mille Lacs going at it in the Section 5A East playoffs over in Mora. That'll start at 4 p.m. And then after that, the loser of that game will go on to the elimination part of the bracket and play again at 5:30 over in Mora. We'll be covering both of those games since we'll for sure have a local team in the elimination bracket. Now, obviously, we wish both teams could just win and stay in the winner's bracket, but sadly, that is just not possible. So we will be covering both games. So the conference at the mound is over, and everyone gets back to their respective positions. Charles with the pitch. And the count moves 3-1. Charles sets with the 3-1. That one swung on and missed. That was a beautiful pitch there from Mason Charles to get him swinging. And now it's a full count. Charles trying to end the inning. And Capella will pop it up to foul territory. And it will go out of play. That one goes out of play, and do it again at a full count. 2 down, nobody on here for the Wolverines. They've already scored a run. And Charles trying to end this inning, and Dragons got some work to do, but they've got the ability to score 8 runs, and that one's high. Capella will walk down to first, and that will bring up John Kendall to the plate. Their leadoff batter, top of the order. So now runner on first with 2 down. And the throw down to second, not going to be a time. As that one took a couple hops to get there, but that's all right. Still 2 down, so not a huge steal, but it's still steal nonetheless there for Capella. But does open up first base. Charles comes back with a nice one there for a strike. And trying to get out of this inning, limiting the damage to 1 run. And here's the pitch from Charles, outside. 2-1 is the count for John Kendall. Here's the 2-1 delivery. Oh, and the runner's going to take third. Again, a nice throw from Elliot Blotz, but runner Capella got a good jump that time. I mean, a good jump. Blotz had a really good throw down to third, but and that runner got in there so quickly. Two down, runner on third. That was going to be high, and ball number 4. So runners now on the corners, and it's Tate Yuhan coming to the plate. He is 1 for 4 today, rather. And the runner steals second, and no point throwing it down to second because the runner from third will probably just come home, so very smart job there by Blotz to hold on to that one. Pitch gets out of the glove of Blotz, but does a good job of racing after it to make sure it doesn't do any damage. Runners will stay. Tate Yuhan is lone hit. It was an RBI single. Back, you guessed it, in the 4th inning. And that one's going to be ball 4. So that will load the bases. And Dylan Headley will come to the plate. Bases loaded, 2 down. Charles with the pitch. It's going to be in there for strike 1. Swing and a miss there from Dylan Headley. 0-2 count now. Oh, 2 pitch from Charles is swung on and fouled. Out of play. So again, 0-2. Oh, and that one gets away, and the runner from third gonna cross. Everyone will advance a base. So bases are loaded no longer. It opens up first, but does add another run to the board to make it 11-2. Dylan Headley with a 1-2 count. That one's going to get by. And another run will come across. 12-2 is the score. That was going to be high for ball 1. think it's ball 2, excuse me. And Dylan Headley gets a piece of that one out to straight center field, but it's caught for out number 3. So, 4 runs come across here or 3 rather. I tell you, math and me, we do not get along. Either way, it is 12-2 in favor of the Wolverines from Rockridge, who will take a quick commercial break. And when we come back, we will have the bottom of the 7th inning. You're listening to Baseball on WCMP.
Since 1967, Schmidt Construction, general contractor in Hinckley, has been where to go for all your building projects. Let Gerald Schmidt help you with designing, remodeling, or any new construction. Schmidt Construction specializes in residential home building, agricultural, industrial, and commercial buildings, with expert advice on all of your building projects and ideas. When you hire a contractor to take care of your building needs, you can't do better than Schmidt Construction, general contractor in Hinckley. 320-384-7901.
It's finally mowing season, but you'd rather be doing something else. Thankfully, Minnesota Equipment in Isanti has affordable machines to help you get the job done quicker, any size property. Toro and Aaron's walk-behind mowers. How about John Deere lawn and garden tractors? Or a compact utility tractor? Minnesota Equipment has them in stock. Yard work doesn't have to take all day. Not if you get into Minnesota Equipment, Highway 65 in Isanti, or visit minnesotaequipment.com.
At Stearns Bank, we're proud to get together to cheer on Dragon Athletics, and we believe that we could always go further when we work together. Whether you're earning your next big win on the field, on the court, or in the arena of life, surround yourself with a team focused on integrity, accountability, and hard work. Put our top-performing team to work for you. Visit our local Pine City branch on Hillside Avenue, call us at 320-629-6713, or explore more online at stearnsbank.com. Go Dragons! Stearns Bank. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Back here on 106.5 FM, AM 1350. Leading off for the Pine City Dragons is Elliot Blotz here in the bottom of the 7th. They got some work to do to climb out of this hole, but see if they can. Blotz will swing on the first pitch, pop it up, and the catcher will hold on to it. So Dylan Headley's going to go the whole way, as Blotz is out number 1. Aiden Palmer will come to the plate now. He'll try and jumpstart this offense. And here's the pitch from Headley. In there for strike 1. Headley with the 0-1 delivery. Swung on and popped up again. Oh, nobody got to. Oh, you had 3 guys who kind of looked at each other, and that ball falls right in the middle of all 3 of them. So an error. But you got to run her on. Yeah, the pitcher, second baseman, and first baseman all going after it. They all watched it fall as they looked at each other. No one called for it. So a mistake there. And then the first pitch to Ethan Agard is low for ball 1. What should have been a routine out leads to a runner on first. That one's going to be in there, though, for strike 1 to Agard. And Agard gets a hit. On to 2 for 1. And the throw to first is not in time, so a fielder's choice. We'll put Ethan Agard on first, and now Luke Wilson will try and keep this game going. Post-game, if this game does end, we'll be pretty quick. I got to get over to Mora here for the start of the game at 4 o'clock, so it'll be a shortened post-game for this game, ladies and gentlemen, just so you are aware. As I must make my way over to Mora to call another game. More playoff softball action. Should be fun. They will check the runner at first, and now First baseman, I think his glasses, maybe? Look like that's what he threw. I think his glasses might be broken. At least that's what it looks like. So Dylan Headley has not thrown a pitch to Luke Wilson in this at-bat yet. Check down the runner at first, and then we had first baseman a little bit of a issue with assuming his glasses. Luke Wilson will swing and foul that pitch back. On deck is Mason Charles. That one's going to be low for ball one. So 1-1 now to Luke Wilson. Headley gets set. Here's the 1-1 delivery. Wilson gets a hit, and it's floated up to the second baseman for out number 3. So that'll be it here in this one. The Dragons fall 12-2 after giving up 8 runs in the 4th inning on 2 outs and 3 more in the 7th. Dragons fall 12-2 here, and that should do it for the regular season. They will start play on Tuesday in the playoffs, and that will more than likely be a home game for them. They will possibly host, but we'll have to continue to wait and see. And but as for this game, it is over. The Dragons do fall to the Rock Ridge Wolverines 12-2. It's not ideal, not what the Dragons were hoping for after a good start to the game. They allowed 1 run, and then they got things going with their batters and started to get their bats rolling and scored 2 runs in the bottom of the first inning to take the lead. But then that 4th inning was just it was tough for them because again they had 2 outs going into it, but then the 2-out magic for the Wolverines began. And I tell you what, 2-out magic is real. Believe it or not, it is. So in this one, the Dragons do fall. The starting pitcher for them was Nick Plajic. He went 3 2/3 innings, grabbed about 3 strikeouts, and that was unfortunately the end of his time there on the mound. So we will wrap up this game and wrap up the regular season here for Pine City. They will await to see where they'll be seated and where they'll be playing next Tuesday. Could be at right here, right in Pine City. So we will have to wait and see. Stay tuned to the morning shows on 95.5 FM and WCMP, as we will keep you up to date there with the sports updates, and then also on our website and Facebook, we'll keep you up to date on all of those spots. But for WCMP, I am Ethan Game Day Gilman, coming up here in about an hour on this very station, 106.5 FM, AM 1350. We'll have more playoff softball action coming your way, so stay tuned for that. Again, the Dragons fall here in this one, 12-2 to Rock Ridge. I'm Ethan Game Day Gilman. Thanks so much for tuning in. Thanks to all of our fine sponsors. Have a great rest of your day, and tune in about an hour for playoff softball.